Hello, everybody. So, this is your phonics lesson for Thursday, February 11th. February 11th. And we are on lesson 18 in our phonics today. I'm going to go ahead and get the screen shared. Okay, so we are on lesson 18, like I said, and we're in unit 4. We're so close to being done with unit 4, guys. And we're going to start with our teacher chaining. And I've already got the Jamboard pulled up, so we're going to go ahead and get started with that. So the first word in our chain is the word slip. Okay, so I want you to think about the word slip. Now, I want you to take away the ul part. What would the new word be? It would be sip. Good. Okay. So now we're going to change the I in sip to ah. So the new word is going to be sap. Very good. All right, so now we're going to add the sound E to the end of sap. What will the new word be? Sappy. Good, good. All right, so now we're going to change the S at the beginning of sappy to it is happy. Good. So we're going to change the ah in happy to ah. So the new word is hoppy. Good. All right, so now we're going to change the E sound at the end of hoppy to ing. So the new word is hopping. Good. All right, so now we're going to change the at the beginning of hopping to sh. So the word is shopping. Very good. All right, so now we're going to change the sh at the beginning of the word to ch, ch. So the new word is chopping. Very good. All right, so now we are going to take away the ing of chopping and just add t to the end of it. Good. The next word is chopped. All right. So now we're going to change the ah in chopped to ah. So the new word is chapped. Very good. All right. So now we're going to take off the t sounds. So the word is just chap. Good. All right, so we're going to change the app in chap to ip. The word is chip. Very good. And now we're going to change the ch part of chip to l. It is lip. Nice. All right, so now we're going to add s to the beginning of lip. Sorry, it's like really early in the morning. So our new word is slip. Very good. Okay. So let's get back to our lesson. Good job on that chaining, guys. You're getting better and better at that every day. Alrighty, so we are going to manipulate some phonemes again. Remember, we are looking at a word in a sentence and the specific blend at the end of the word. And then we are going to remove the first sound of the blend to make a new word. Okay, so our first sentence is, my grandmother made me a quilt. Quilt. So we have the word quilt. Quilt. So what is the blend in this word? It's the ult. And then we're going to get rid of the first sound, which is the ul. So now we just have quit. Quit. So what is the new word on the curve? It is quit. Very good. All right, our second sentence. Squeeze your hand tight to make a fist. So our word is fist. Fist. Fist is the blend. The st is the blend. We're going to get rid of the sound. So now we just have fit, fit. What is the new word on the curve, guys? It is fit. Very good. All right, next sentence. The bird slept in its nest in the tree. So nest is the word we were looking for. We have nest, nest. So st is the blend, and we're going to get rid of the first sound in the blend. So we're getting rid of the, okay, so now we just have net, net. Oh, no, no, cat. Sorry, guys, hold on. Well, I am like, hold on. I don't know how she did that. All the way at the very end. Well, this is taking forever. Okay, back to the screen. Okay, so we have the word net. So what is the new word? It is net. Good. All right, our next sentence. The construction worker liked to build houses. Build is the word on the curve, and if we break it apart, we have old. Old is the blend, and we're going to get rid of the first sound in the blend. So we have bed, bed. So what is the new word on the curve? It is bid. Very good. All right. And then our last sentence is she was above him in rank. Rank. So we have rank. Is the blend. We're going to get rid of the sound. So now we have rack. Rack. The new word on the curve is rack. There we go. Alrighty, our spoonerism for today, it's pretty easy. Y'all get this no problem, real quick, is what the shindo? What the shindo? What's that supposed to say? Shut the window. That was easy peasy. Alrighty, our learning targets for today are I can identify the different sounds for the Y spelling. I can change singular nouns into plural, and I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story, keeping it up. So we have a new story today. All right, so we have learned the 4 sounds already for the spelling Y. And so we have looked in our code chart already to find the spellings. We have used the Y for Y, the consonant sound Y, like in yes, yell, and yarn. We have learned the eh sound for the Y spelling, like in myth, symbol, and system. We have learned the I sound for the Y spelling, like try, cry, shy, and satisfy. Okay. And then yesterday we talked about the sound E, like in the word funny, with the Y spelling. All right. So we're going to do this worksheet together, okay? Worksheet 18.1. These are just the words that are on the top of the worksheet. So we have the words yellow, tricky, butterfly, baby, gym, antonym, story, dry, study, supply, crazy, and fairy. And look at the directions say, have students write each word in the correct sound box. So if the Y in the word sounds like yeah, like yard, you're going to put it in this box. If it sounds like I in my, you're going to put it in this box. If it sounds like I in myth, it's going to go in this box. And if it sounds like E in funny, it's going to go in this box, okay? So let's do the first few together. So we have yellow. Where's that one going to go? Well, the Y says y, like yarn. So I'm going to put it here. And then I'm going to mark it out. All right, the next word is tricky. So what sound does that Y make? It makes E sound. So does it sound like yarn? Does it sound like my? Does it sound like myth? Or does it sound like funny? It sounds like funny. So I'm going to put it down here. And then I'm going to work it out. Okay. So you guys understand what you're going to do? You're going to do this part on your own. Okay. We did a few together. And you're going to work it on your own. Remember, what does the Y sound like in those words? Does it say yeah, I, or E? All right, so we have learned 3 ways to change a singular noun into a plural noun. And we're going to practice this with several nouns, okay? So if I have the word dog, what do I need to do to make it plural? Instead of saying I have one dog, I can say I have several dogs. Right, so we just add S to the end of dog to make it say dogs. What about the word box? I have one box, but I have 5 boxes. So what did I do to fix that? I added ES. That's right. Good. So let's review the rules that we have learned so far about changing singular nouns into plural nouns. So we know that rule number 1 is we can just add the suffix s. So one clerk becomes 2 clerks. Rule number 2, we add the suffix es to words that end with ch, sh, ss, x, or z. So one branch becomes 2 branches. And rule number 3, we have to change the y to an I and add es. So one fly becomes 2 flies. Okay, but let's look at this word toy. Do we need to change the y or not to make that word plural? How will we make the word toy plural? We just add s to the end of it, right? When a y is preceded or when there is a vowel in front of it, you don't have to change anything. You just put an S at the end, okay? Look at the word ray. Do we need to change anything or just add S? We're just going to add S because there is an A before the Y. Remember, if there is a vowel before the Y, we don't have to change anything. We just add F. Okay, what about the word stay? What do we need to do to make that plural? We just add S, so it becomes stays. Good. What about the word boy? What do we do to boy? right? We're just going to add S because there is an O in front of the Y. All right, so on Monday, I saw one butterfly. Read that sentence with me. On Monday, I saw one butterfly. So I have the word butterfly. On Tuesday, I saw three butterflies. So let's look at the word butterfly on this page. Okay, and now we have butterflies. What did we have to do to change that word? Butterfly, butterflies. What did we do? We had to change the spelling somehow. So we took the Y in butterfly, and remember we had to change it to I, and then we added ES. And look at the word butterfly. There is no vowel before the Y. That's an L, that's a consonant. So that tells us that, yeah, we have to change the Y to an I before we add ES. All right, so here's another sentence, okay? We have a small supply of food. So the word we're looking at is supply. They bought many different supplies at the store. What did we have to do between supply and supplies to make it plural? We had to change the Y to an I and add ES. Good. Because again, there is an L in front of that Y. It's not a vowel, so we have to change it. All right, so let's read these words in this chart, and we're going to change them from singular to plural. So you guys tell me, after I say the singular word, tell me how to make it plural. Okay, so the first singular word is story. The second word is lady. And the third word is fairy. So what did I do to each of those words to make them plural? We had to change the Y in each of those words to an I and then add ES to make them plural. All right, so sometimes when a word ends in Y, it's a verb, it's an action. And sometimes we use these verbs in sentences in a way that requires us to add the sound at the end of the verb. Okay, like I cry when I scrape my knee, but sometimes we say she always cries at sad movies. You see how we had to change I cry and she cries? So we had to add S to the end of that word. What did we do to the Y in the word cry to make it say cries? We changed it to I and added ES. Okay. Do you dry dishes? And he dries the dishes after they have been washed. What did we change in dry to make it say dries? We changed the Y to the I and added ES. So again, when you change the Y to the I, remember that the new spelling, the IE, stands for the same sound, I, like the Y did. Okay, so look, in the word cry, what sound does the Y make? It says I. In the word cries, what sound does the IE make? It also says I. So the IE spelling has the same sound as the Y spelling when you change the Y to an I. Okay. All right, let's do a few more examples. The women carry heavy loads on top of their heads. He carries his tools in his backpack. What did we have to change? We changed the Y to the I and added ES. Very good. Did you study for your test? He studies for his spelling tests every Thursday night. What did we do to the word study to make it say studies? We changed the Y to the I and we added ES. So remember, the Y at the end of these words represents the E sound. So when the spelling changes to IE, the IE now represents the E sound. So an example, here's the word carry. What sound does that Y make? It makes the E sound. When we change the Y to an I and add ES, what sound does the IE make? Carries. It still makes the E sound. So it doesn't change the sound just because we changed the Y to the I and added ES. It's still the same sound as the original Y. All right, so you have another worksheet to work on today, 18.2. It's easy peasy. You guys are so good at these. It's like nothing. All righty, so the first 5, you have to make the word in the parentheses under the line into a plural noun, okay? So if you have one city, you have 3 cities. So how would you change city into a plural word, cities? What would we do? We would change the Y to an I and add ES, okay? So you are going to do that on the first 5. You're going to make the singular noun plural. And then on the bottom 5, you're going to take the verb and you're going to change it into a different tense of the verb, okay? Like we don't say he study for his test each night. What would we say? We would say he studies for his test each night. That looks a little crazy. There we go. All right, so you're going to change the verb in the last 5, okay? See how easy that's going to be? No problem. All right, it's time to wiggle, guys. Get out your wiggles. All right, so I want you to stand up. Sorry, kitty. Stand up, okay? Now I want you to hop backwards. Hop backwards. All right, now twist. Jump. All right, now sit back down. Okay. All right. So if you need to go to the bathroom, take a lap around the house, you need to go get a drink, whatever you need to do, take just a minute or 2 break, go get some energy out, and then come right back to today's lesson, okay? All right, so we have a new story today. It's called Keeping It Up. So the title of today's story is Keeping It Up. So think about, where has Kim tried to get a job so far? Where are some places she's looked to get a job? Well, we know that she's gone to a gym, she's gone to a bank, she's gone to a market, she's gone to a florist, she's gone to a bakery. So those are all places where Kim has tried to get a job. Has she gotten a job yet? No. And the title of today's story is Keeping It Up. What do you think that title might actually tell us about what's happening in the story? See, in my opinion, it tells me that she's not giving up. She's going to keep trying. She's going to keep it up until she finds a job. So our spellings for this story, we have the E sound with a Y spelling like energy, spicy, baby, candy, cavity, and lady or ladies. We have the I sound with the letter Y spelling in lying and trying. We have the I sound with the letter I in find and kind. And we have the I consonant E spelling of the sound I in fine and tired. And then we have the O sound with the words auto, go, and so. So some of our vocabulary words, okay? We have the word grease, which is an oily or a fatty matter. And for cars, it's like an oil to help the engine run. Then we have the word exclaimed, which means that you yell or you call out something with excitement. We have auto shop, which is a store or a place where you go to have your cars or your automobiles fixed. We have the word gloomy, which means to be sad. Then we have an expression, flopped down, and that means you kind of like sit or fall down like you have no bones. You're just like, okay. When caught a whiff means you smelled something. After a bit means like after a few minutes have passed. And get a cavity means you have a decayed spot on one of your teeth. Okay, so have you ever had to try really hard to accomplish or to do something? And how did it feel when you did conquer those challenges and you overcame your difficulties in order to succeed? How did you feel? Well, we're going to read today's story to see if Kim feels that way, the same way that you did when trying to accomplish something difficult. So we're going to read the story, Keeping It Up. Sorry, I'm really thirsty for some reason. Okay, so if we look at our table of contents, the story Keeping It Up starts on page 82. Good. All right. Keeping It Up. Where to next? Asked Kurt. Let's just go and see what we find, Kim said. They passed a place called Jack's Auto Shop. It was a loud place. There were men banging and drilling. One man in the auto shop was lying under a car. One man was looking under the hood of a cab. Do you think you can get a job in there? Asked Kurt. No way, Kim said. I can't fix cars. I think it looks like my kind of job, said Kurt. You get to use lots of cool toys, and you get to mess up your clothing with grease. That's perfect. As they went on, they passed lots of carts selling food. One of the cartmen was selling roasted peanuts. Kurt caught a whiff of the spicy peanuts and started tugging on Kim's blouse. That's another word for a lady's shirt. Those nuts smell so good, he said. Can I have some? Kurt, Kim exclaimed. You just had a cranberry muffin from the bakery. But I need a snack for energy. Fine, Kim said. She got Kurt some peanuts. Kim went into a music shop. The music in the shop was so loud she had to scream. Do you have a job opening? The boss yelled no. Kim tried a clothing shop. There were no jobs. She spoke to the owner of a bookstore. He was not hiring. She went into a shop that sold baby clothing. We can't. It's like part of the story's cut off. After a bit, Kim and Kurt came to a candy shop. That's the place to get a job, Kurt said cheerfully. If I can't get a job, I can at least get a cavity, said Kim. She went in and got some sweets for herself and Kurt. Then she and Kurt flopped down on a bench. Kim was hot and tired. She was starting to think she might never find a job. She sighed and set her chin on her hand. Don't be so gloomy, Kurt said. You know what Mom says, a quitter never wins and a winner never quits. Kim smiled. You are right, Kurt. Thanks for saying that, she said. I'll keep trying. All right, so where does Kurt think it would be fun to work? Kurt thinks it would be fun to work in the auto shop. You guys remember why he wanted to work in the auto shop? He said you could fix cars and get your clothes all dirty. All right, so what does Kim first buy Kurt as a snack in this story? Kim buys him some spicy peanut. That's right. Where does Kim go to ask if there are job openings? Remember, there were 4 places she went to in this story. She went to the music store, the clothing shop, a bookstore, and a baby clothing store. Okay. What does Kim buy as a second snack today in this story? She buys some sweets. And how does Kim feel when she goes in to buy the candy? It said that Kim feels hot, tired, and discouraged. But what does Kurt say to cheer her up? He said, a quitter never wins and a winner never quits. That's right. All right, so one more thing for you to work on today for phonics. You are going to reread the story, The Daydream, okay? Not the new story for today. You're going to reread The Daydream. And then there are questions for you to answer. So there's 4 multiple choice questions. And then number 5 is you're going to use your text box and tell me about a daydream that you have had in your life. It could be any time in your life, okay? All right, so our learning targets for today were I can identify the different sounds for the Y spelling. I can change singular nouns into plural, and I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story, keeping it up. So that is everything for that part of our lesson. But we are starting something new today. Now, we're probably not going to do it every day that we have phonics, but we're going to have it. We're going to start reviewing some grammar, okay? So if you notice on today's work, okay, so you have your, oops, up there. So you have your phonics assignment for today, which is to these 3 pages, reread the story, answer questions, and these 2 worksheets that we talked about. You also have a spelling assignment to work on today. It's another crossword puzzle. You guys did such a great job with those that you have a crossword puzzle to work on for spelling. And then here's something new, grammar assignments, okay? So we are going to talk about sentences today, the types of sentences. And in your assignment, I've given you a little video to watch, a YouTube video about the 4 different types of sentences. I'm going to show you the page. All right, so remember there are 4 types of sentences. Remember, a sentence is a group of words that makes a complete thought, okay? A sentence has to begin with a capital letter. So here's an example that is not a sentence. Beach. If somebody walks up to you and says, went to the, are you know what they mean? No. A sentence has to be a complete thought. It has to have a subject and a verb, or a subject and a predicate. We'll talk about those later. Okay. But this is a sentence. I go to the beach. That had a subject. It says I. That's the person in the sentence. And what do I do? Go to the beach. So there's a subject and a predicate. There's a noun and a verb. All right. So what you're going to do on today's assignment here are, and you're going to open this in Kami, okay? You're not going to actually write this stuff in today. Just today you're going to open it in Kami. And you're going to use your tools. It says write the words that are sentences. I just want you to circle them with your circle tool, okay? So you're going to look at all 4 of those and you're going to circle the ones that are a sentence, okay? And then on the bottom part, write the sentences correctly. And you can use the text box over off to the side to type it correctly. Remember, what does a sentence have to have? And what do sentences have to end with, guys? Punctuation of some sort, okay? So there are 4 different types of sentences. There's a statement, which is called a declarative sentence. And it's just something that tells you information, like, I have a cat. My straw is blue. Okay. Those are statements. I'm telling you something. That's a declarative sentence. A statement, declarative sentence, ends with a period. There's the example. My dog is red. Okay. Now, a question is a sentence that asks something. Those are called interrogative sentences, okay? And that's a big word. And a question or an interrogative sentence ends with a question mark. There's the example. Is that your dog? Okay. There are 2 other types of sentences. There is a command, which is also called an imperative sentence. And that's like when you say, watch out, or stop, things like that. It's like you're commanding someone, you're demanding that they do something. And those are usually end with a period also. Then there is an exclamation sentence or an exclamatory sentence. And those are sentences that are exciting and they end with an exclamation mark, like, I got a cat. So you're excited about that. Or I got the $100 prize. You could end that with an exclamation mark. Those are exclamatory sentences. So for this page in your grammar assignment, okay, again, you're not going to write the sentence. I'm actually going to open this right now and mark this out so you don't do it. You're not going to write the sentence in paper or by hand. You're just going to use the text box, okay? Mark that out. Okay, so you're going to circle the sentences that are statements, and then you're going to underline the sentences that are questions, all right? And then again, over here it says write each statement or question correctly. You're just going to type it. Okay, so you're going to type it with the text box. There, type. And you can just do it over here to the side. And I'll come up here and fix this also. So you're going to type the words that are sentences. Okay, so type. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not type. You're just going to circle. You're going to circle the words that are sentences, and down here, you're going to type the sentences correctly. Okay? So you have there's 6 problems on that page, and there's 6 on this page, so that's 12 total. Okay? All right, so that's your grammar for today. Nothing hard or nothing, not a lot. And but remember that you do have phonics assignments today, you have grammar assignment, and you have spelling. So you do have a lot of work for me today in phonics class, okay? So go ahead and get busy, and I will see you guys later. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.